ladies and gentlemen, welcome. And my aim of my speech is shortly introduce you to the process. What was it? Why we started this project? How it has been done, and maybe to show you that to write the standards is not just easy work like we thought on the start, that we'll just join group of clever people and do it. But it was really challenging, and I hope that the result which you will be consulted with is the evidence of that. You already probably have seen the webpage of the project where all the standards at the moment are presented. And we started this project, in fact, 1 year before. We got the support of the European Arboricultural Council to analyze the situation because as instructors and as supervisors of certification exams, we learned across the Europe that even if we all do our job properly, each state has the know-how which probably arborist needs. The standards differ, and across the Europe you can meet many definitions, many handbooks, many standards on national base. Quite a number, majority of Europe didn't have arboricultural standards before at all. So we tried to come with something which will unify the arboricultural know-how, define it for the crucial areas. And the idea on the start, or the ideas on the start, were quite wild. When we met first time, we spent really days just on definitions, what could or what should be defined in the text, how to express it, whether to concentrate only on the positive side or whether define what are the main errors. We really went across a very hard process only on the start. Sometimes it was really challenging to understand each other because you must consider the fact that all members of the team or none of the members of the team is English speaking like a mother language. So to listen the Czenglish and the Pole English, and these versions were really a challenge of itself. First step was to define the basic concept. So we wrote really lots of pages. I think that the final version was or final extent was something like 3,000 pages, which had to be studied, analyzed, reviewed, etc. So the background was really challenging. Quite important part of our meetings were presentations, because we decided not only to define it from the green table, but really to see the case studies in the field. So we really spent lots of time speaking with individual experts in different countries within our traveling, and to see the case studies for problems which we defined in the standards. So, by the way, we are pretty sure that all the statements in the standards are real, are not just taken from references or from literature. Our job was not only to define the text, but to start to define even support materials. So part of our projects are as well some short videos and tools to demonstrate the facts. Next step was to define the first draft, which has been spread across Europe, and we are really grateful that we got lots of proposals for changes from arborists and arborist organizations across Europe. Of course, even that was pretty challenging, because then we had to incorporate all these proposals in the standards, define again the inside of the standards. And I mustn't forget that our version of English text was really, let's say, the European English, which then has been translated into proper English by our colleagues from Arboricultural Association, which we are really happy to have, because then the text, of course, is more maybe understandable even for native English speakers. The graphical part of the standards is very important because when you just open a book, it's defined by pictures and by the outline. So we really must stress that our colleagues from Latvia, from Labiekoki, helped us with the pictures and with all the graphic outline of the standards, which you can now use and see. Yeah, and the final version is, of course, presented and will be discussed during the conference. I must stress that not only the standards are the output, because during our discussion we came to the fact that in different countries could be define some differences due to tree species structure, geographic areas, even the history of arboriculture. So we decided not only to do the generalized European version, but to allow each state to define its national annex, which doesn't mean that it should be contradictory to the main text, but it's more explanatory, it's more to invite arborists from other countries working in that country by defining the specific areas for each problem we discussed, and to define the law politics of the state, to allow the arborists just start working, let's say, from the day first, without crossing some problems known for the country. By the way, this is one of the problems or one of the issues which we solve with translations, that not only the standards should be translated in our other languages, but in fact, in future, all the European states should define their national annexes to allow the exchange of arborists across Europe. As has been already said, we are really proud that there is lots of interest in translating the standards above of the project, because within the project we got grant for writing the standards in English and in German. But at the moment we already have signed agreements with many states to translate into their languages. By the way, it's open for everyone, so if someone wants to translate the standards, it's free and it's open for everyone from, and not only from Europe, if you wish. This is something which is really very good example or proof that the standards are necessary and that our industry really needs them. Within the project, because of some budget changes, we had the opportunity to add some intellectual outputs, which will be discussed within this conference as well, so you will have opportunity to see these outputs. And I must say that quite a big challenge was the COVID phase, which struck the project in the middle. And we had to really completely reorganize the way we are working. We have not been allowed to meet anymore. We had to learn how to use completely new technology. At the moment, we've got really overwhelming amount of gadgets which we need to deal with, and we somehow did it, and we are really proud that we were able to continue and to really fulfill the project, even if the restrictions were at times severe, which you definitely are aware of. So this is the partnership, and to acknowledge the partners, I created a short video where you can So that's the team which allowed us to write all the text of the standards and which will be presenting them in future 2 days. And this is not end of our project. This is because in the meantime we got support for another 3 years of working on arboricultural standards. This time we will concentrate on the standards from the area of consulting arboriculture. So this is just the first phase, and the next phase will cover standards for tree assessment, for tree value calculation, and for protection of trees during development activities. And this project, which is called ECOST, in fact already started and will continue during next 3 years. So we hope that at the end of the phase we will be able to provide to the industry the complete set of standards, of definitions, of know-how for all basic, let's say, the most important part of arboriculture. And we hope that we will, due to these standards, be able to learn from each other and choose the best technologies for our trees to survive in the changing environment of our cities. By the way, if you want to get new informations even from this conference, stay tuned to our YouTube channel. If you make picture of this QR code, you will be directed to the channel on YouTube where we will present step-by-step parts of this conference and all resources which have been created during our project. So thank you very much for being here. We really look forward to the discussions. Prepare your questions to the team members, and I'm giving time to another speaker. Thank you.